it also describes all these. That means I'm just trying to highlight the various components of UGC Regulations 2018. It says that it is all for all students, faculty, and researchers. The second section, it defines various various terms and components which you should know of. And then what are the objectives? What are the objectives of these regulations? These objectives are spelled as to create awareness about responsible code of conduct in education and research. That means whenever you are undertaking any activity in your academics or in your research work, you need to abide by certain standards, you need to abide by certain norms of the field. That norms are, that means there is a way of acting, there is a way of conducting your activities, and that code, that way has to be strictly adhered to. Then these regulations also mandate that there should be an institutional mechanism to spread awareness, to educate students, to train students. What is all this about? Why are we emphasizing so much on academic integrity? Why are we emphasizing so much on honesty? Why are we emphasizing on ethics of the field? So institutional mechanism means that is why we are conducting such workshops and orientation programs, because it is mandatory for the higher educational institutions to impart training, to educate students on the various aspects of academic integrity, ethics, and so on and so forth. Then further, these regulations spell to develop systems to detect plagiarism and to set up mechanisms to prevent plagiarism and punish those who commit acts of plagiarism. That means it mandates that there should be facilities, there should be systems in place to detect plagiarism, to help students figure out what is plagiarized content. That is why library is extending these facilities of anti-plagiarism software to the user community. Then these regulations also specify what are the duties of higher educational institutions. That means they should, what is expected from universities, what is expected from higher educational institutions, what should they be doing in order to impart education and training, in order to ensure that students abide, researchers abide by the rules, by the ethics, by the principles of academic writing. Then, for curbing plagiarism, higher educational institutions should implement use of technology, which libraries are doing by implementing, by deploying the use of these anti-plagiarism facilities. And as per these regulations, students at the time of submitting their thesis, they are supposed to submit an acknowledgement that the work which they are submitting is for their original work which they have undertaken, and it does not have any plagiarized content. Then supervisor is also expected to submit an acknowledgement that the work which his student is submitting has been done under his supervision and it is original. And another important thing which you should be knowing, that it also mandates that masters, it mentions masters and research dissertations should be uploaded in the digital repository of the university as well as in the national repository. So this is very important. And according to these regulations, higher educational institutions are supposed to maintain institutional repositories and maintain theses and dissertations of masters as well as PhD levels. And it spells that while the system is generating originality report, all these things should be excluded. Quoted works, reference, bibliography, table of contents, preface, acknowledgements, generic terms, as I said, generic terms, laws, standards, symbols, equations, all these constitute to form or to present common knowledge. So this is common knowledge, and they should not be considered while generating originality report. While the system does take into consideration even the common knowledge and considers it while generating originality report, at this juncture, the role of library professionals and teachers become very important, because teachers are domain experts and they are supposed to exclude this common knowledge. And that is why yesterday too in the presentations it was emphasized upon that whenever you submit a Word file to the library for a plagiarism check or for originality report, you should ensure that you do not provide reference or bibliography or TOC preface acknowledgement. I think this was highlighted, spotlighted yesterday in one of the presentations. And then levels, these regulations also specify levels of plagiarism, which I think was highlighted yesterday. There are 4 levels. Level 0, similarities up to 10%. Level 1, 10 to 40%. Level 2, similarities above 40 to 60%, and so on and so forth. Then the regulations also specify what should be done when the cases of plagiarism are detected, how should they be reported, and what should be done to handle those cases. It mandates that there should be a departmental academic integrity panel. There should be institutional academic integrity panel. And it also prescribes penalties for different levels. It specifies penalty on repeated plagiarism. That means if one is committing the offense again and again, then what should be the penalty? That penalty in case where the degree or credit has already been obtained, it specifies what should be done in such cases. That means if a student has already got degree and then it comes to the fore that acts of plagiarism or misconduct were done, then what should be the result? How should the university address such cases? And so these are some of the main components of the UGC Regulations 2018, which I have just spotlighted, and I'll advise all the participants to go through the full text of these regulations. So now I'll just spotlight the main characteristics of Urkun. But before I start dwelling on Urkun, let me tell you what are the characteristics of these software. Whether it is Turnitin, whether it is Drillbit, or it is Urkun, they work on similar lines. That means technology behind it is similar. They are automated computer programs. These are simply tools and aids. They highlight similarity with the already published content. That means whenever you upload your draft for checking, or whenever you upload your manuscript or term paper for checking if it is plagiarism free, if it is perfect, then what does the system do? It simply matches the content of your draft with the already published resources which are available online. So what does it do? All these softwares, whether it is Turnitin or Urkun or Drillbit, what do they do? In fact, they do text matching. That means they match the text of your draft with the already published content, and then they show that this is the similarity index. And let me tell you, none of these software specifies the amount of plagiarism done. It does not decide plagiarism. It simply highlights what is the percentage of content which matches with already published content or with already published sources. So ultimately, teacher has to take the final call to decide whether the content is plagiarized or whether it is innocuous. So I want to bring home the message that these plagiarism facilities, anti-plagiarism software or facilities, they are just tools and aids. They help you in improving the quality of your draft or thesis or manuscript, but the final call, the final call, or I mean to say that you cannot solely depend, the report, the originality report cannot be taken on face value. It has to be read properly, very minutely, in conjunction with human mind, and a teacher has to finally decide if the content is plagiarized or it's innocuous. So this is very important for all of you to understand. And here it all, you should remember that, and even the regulations mention that common knowledge should not be considered as plagiarized. So even if it shows it plagiarized, there are provisions in system where you can exclude those sources, and the system will generate another report of similarity or another originality report. But these features, these rights of excluding sources are not given to students. Only teachers have right to exclude sources. So this is very important. And I think all these software do offer this facility. Of course, all these softwares, Turnitin, Urkun, and Drillbit, offer facility of excluding sources if the sources show common knowledge is plagiarized. So now coming to Urkun. Urkun is a fully automatic machine learning text recognition system for detecting and preventing and handling plagiarism. This is what other two softwares do as well. It supports different languages. Urkun does support other languages as well. And then after a draft is uploaded, matching is done. This is very important because the software basically, what do? They do text matching. Matching is done against internet, journals, previous journals. Of course, journals, you must, I underline over here, against internet. This is what the site, Urkun website mentions. And this is, I want to bring home the message that only it does matching with the sources which are available online. So just one example. So if you are copying from some source which is not there in which is not there in digital format, so naturally system will not take. But maybe you write your thesis, you submit your thesis, you move out, you start your career somewhere else, but maybe after 5 years, that book, which was not there in print form on internet, maybe after 5 years, it is digitized and comes on internet, and maybe then your document will show some similarity, some kind of plagiarism, and that may land you in allegation of plagiarism. So I want to drive home message that honesty has to be followed always. So it's not that you can rest assured if the document is not in digital format and no automated program will catch it, but tomorrow it may come in, it may be digitized and you may be in trouble. So the basic message over here is that these tools are just tools and aids. So the basic principle is that you must follow the basic principle of academic writing, which is honesty. So what Urkun does, it reports, the report generated shows degree of matches, And it also shows paraphrasing done. And sometimes students want to, what do? They substitute words. So it catches all these actions, all these X and sometimes what happens, it mentions that, there is a facility that if you want that 14 words, one after another, should not be considered, as plagiarized. So what it has been observed by many studies, that what do students do? They combine the words, 15 to 20 words they will combine, because they want the system not to catch it, and they substitute the space which we have between the words. They substitute it with special symbols, and they use white color to hide it. So even the system catches those things which students indulge in order to circumvent, in order to avoid, or in order to fool the system. I think that's why the system is smarter, because if students commit such acts, even those acts are detected by Urkun. And this is very important, that Urkun does similarities across languages. For example, if you know some language, for example, say you know German, and you have studied some text in German, and then you try to translate it, and you try to you publish it, you write it in English, and try to pass it off as if it were your own content. And you don't give any attribution, you don't give any acknowledgement, you don't give credit to the original source. Even such cases are detected by Urkun. So how to use Urkun? Now, teachers have to create account for teachers is created by Urkun administrator, which is again a library professional. So Urkun administrator creates account for teachers, and then the link goes to the teachers' emails. Then the thing which you must note over here is that that particular link is time bound. That means it has to be activated within the time specified in the mail. If you don't do it, then you will have to, you cannot use it. You'll have to request the administrator again to provide you a link. And it is very important for all of you to know that simply if you get an account, that doesn't mean you will be able to use it. You will have to activate the link. If you don't do it within the specified time, you will have to again write to the administrator. Further, you must know, I underline over here that an analysis address has to be created. When you get a link, you have to create an analysis address. And if analysis address is not created, you will not be able to submit your documents to the system for analysis. So message over here is two important things. When administrator creates account for teachers, they have to ensure that they activate their links before the deadline, which is mentioned in the mail. In case they do not do it, they will have to ask again. And then after activating, they will have to set up an analysis address. Once an analysis address is set up, it is ready to receive documents to be analyzed. If you don't set up analysis address, you may be having an account, but you will not be able to use it. This is for teachers. And documents can be submitted by attaching them to a regular email that is directly sent to the analysis address, or by using web inbox, which may be accessed through website. So this slide shows two important things. Once, when teachers get linked, they have to activate it, and then they have to set an analysis address. When analysis address is set up, then only they will be able to submit attachments. and attachments can be sent, can be uploaded by using the web inbox of Urkun, or in case it can be sent even through regular mails. A document can be sent to this email, to this analysis address. So this is very important. Two things: either you can upload the document through Urkun website, or even you can use your email to submit the document through to this analysis address. This is very important. That's why I'm repeating. And for students, a student need not have an account. Even then, he or she can use Urkun. He or she should have a valid analysis address. That means when a teacher has set up a valid analysis address, this is what the second bullet point says, a teacher may simply submit a document to their own analysis address by email or by using the inbox. The message over here is, if the teacher shares the analysis address with the student can directly send. So this is the message, and I underline that a student need not have an account, but if a valid analysis address is shared by teacher with the student, then student can submit his document to that valid analysis. Now, once the account has been created for teacher, then analysis address has been set up, and then analysis address has been shared with the students as well. Students can submit their documents directly to the analysis address. Then once a document has been sent, then naturally it will be matched and a report will be generated. Teachers may view the analysis report through link received in the report in the email. Teachers may set up web inbox for viewing all the incoming documents. Initially, when they register, they get web inbox creation link. So remember, when teachers register, then the links, a couple of links which they get, they are all time bound and they have to be activated within time. And generally, Urkun does not share reports with student. System does not share any analysis report with the students. The teachers may share analysis report URL link with the students. That means system does not share report with the students. Students are not sent. In case the teacher shares the URL link with the students, then students will be able to access their full analysis report. So while you students are using this system, it is very important for them to keep in mind. And this is the problem which we often come across when we use Turnitin system too. That means if you are using, and I think we have always underlined that you should submit your submissions, or you should upload your drafts through authentic accounts, through the accounts which you have been allotted, or through the account of your supervisor. Because this is the problem, or this is the aspect which needs to be taken care of while using Urkun as well. If the students submit multiple drafts of the assignment from the same email address to the same analysis address, then it will not be used in the report. That means what happens when you submit one report, when you submit one submission, one draft, and submit another, then what happens? It shows matching within the two. You know, second draft shows similarity of 100% because it is matched against the first draft. But if you submit, this is what I underline over here, you must note that if the students submit multiple drafts of the assignment from the same email address to the same analysis address, then there will be no matching within the drafts. But then you should note the second bullet. If the draft is submitted twice through different emails, it will be included in the analysis report. And then you have if you are submitting it through website, Urkun website, then this is, if you submit documents, you have to select analysis address from here. Then once you have submitted, then after some time, you will get the report, and the report, it shows in text, quotes, brackets. That means this shows that quotes have been excluded, brackets and all have been excluded, but detailed text differences it will show. And if you see, this is one report which has been generated, and it shows sources which they have taken, school assignment, websites, journals. And then as it shows in Turnitin or in Drillbit, it similarly shows the URLs from which text has been picked up. Then this report, as you can see, this is important. Hit and source, focused comparison side by side. As submitted text, as student entered in the text, in the submitted document, as the text appears in the match. So this is very important for all of you to know that how the similarity report or how the system generates report, it does comparison side by side. That means in the submitted document, I had written it this way, and from where the writer picked up, it was written this way. Hit and source focused comparison side by side. Then this shows matching test. It shows how the writer has tried to play with the words, you know, to play with the words in the sequencing. But then the system catches that too. The screenshot shows that. You see, this is the document, this side, left hand side. These are two lines which the submitter has submitted, and then it matches, and it is shown as how the writer has tried to, you know, to dodge the system. The document contains words with characters or symbols from different scripts or writing systems. This can be caused by document conversion errors and special characters such as mu, but it could also be the result of an attempt to subvert the analysis by replacing letters or symbols with others that look similar. So even if somebody tries to do that, this system catches that too. Then it gives similarity report like this. We are talking about similarity report only. If you can recall, Turnitin also shows report like this. It matches with the different URLs and shows on the right side. And I show this report of this is important to underline that system Urkund, it facilitates checking of documents written in Hindi as well, because this is a Hindi document, a document written in Hindi which I uploaded to check. And it shows with which source it matches. It specifies the URL as well. Oh. So this is all about, in a nutshell, I have highlighted some of the important points of Urkund, which you should know while you start using it. For instance, you need to have an account. Once an account has been created, you need to activate the link. Once activation has, you have activated the link, you have to ensure that analysis address is set up, because without that, you will not be able to use. Students need not have an account, even if students do not have an account, but if their teachers share analysis address, they will be able to submit to their documents for checking. And another important thing is which the student should know, that while they are submitting, naturally you will not finalize your draft in a single attempt. You need to check it again and again. So the thing which you should keep in mind is that multiple drafts should be submitted from the same email address to the same analysis. Maybe these things do not make any sense right now, but it's very important for you to keep these things in mind and start using Urkund. That means when you are using, you should use valid email ID, and same email ID should be used for sending multiple drafts to the same analysis address. So these are some of the facilities which it offers, and all the characteristics of the software are same. And then let me tell you, it's very important for you to know, sometimes the document which you upload is, as it happens in Turnitin, is deposited in the system's repository. So for that, you will have to write to the administrator to get it removed, to get it deleted from the repository. And other features are more or less same. And I request all of you to make use of this facility. And in case of any problem, please share with library staff. So with this, I end. I have focused on the very main basic features, features of Urkund, which you need to know in order to start using it. And let me again repeat that all these facilities, they function on similar lines. They just highlight similarity index, and they have to be taken in conjunction with, they have to be analyzed and scrutinized in keeping in conjunction with human intelligence. And another thing is that it should not be taken on face value, because even if the similarity index comes to 5%, you must ensure that, as I gave the example, that maybe you have picked up the content from some book which is not available in soft copy, in digital format. So naturally, matching will not be shown in that from that source. But maybe after 5 years, that book is digitized and comes on internet. So the message over here is that you should not, you don't have to circumvent or to dodge the system. You have to ensure that you adhere to the basic principle of research writing and research reporting, and that is honesty. These tools are here to help you to enhance the quality of your draft and your work. So these are some basic features, and this is all from my side, and I will take questions once we are through with presentations of other speakers as well. So thank you very much. Maheshi?
Yes, madam.
The
Yes.
speaker is here, no?
Yes. Madam, मैं अभी कॉल करूँ जरा. I'm just switching over the system.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, madam. I request just the next speaker, Mr. Dr. Vibhuti Patnaik sir.
He's
So
around.
he is around, but he's taking some time to settle his PC. So in the meantime, we can take
some questions, huh?
Yes, we can take questions from the participants. So that will be helpful. So I request the participants to raise their queries, if any, to the speaker relating to this presentation or anything relevant to the talk of the day. Please.
Yes, we have one question in chat. Can someone read my question? Yes, I'm reading. I have issue with microphone. Raj Kamal Sen says he has some problem with microphone, which I think I express my inability to address that. Then, does the plagiarism checker also matches against preprint repositories? That is, yes, it does. That means anything and everything which is available online will be matched. Your draft will be matched against all things, all repositories, all content which are contents which are available online. I request participants to raise queries or any other query related to library. Any query, any observation, any comment to make?
So, madam, if you permit, I have a small query of mine. So, because if you can clarify that where, because there is a budget notification, plagiarism, there is a word limit, and this excluding the areas of bibliography and related things, these lectures. So where we set those parameters in Urkund. So if you can throw some light on that area, that will be helpful, madam. Please.
When we are uploading that, it gives whether we want to exclude or not. So we can just enable that. That feature is, it was shown on the screen too. That feature is there in Orkun.
Okay.
Where we can exclude that, and it's very important that since the regulations specify that all these quoted words, bibliography, table of contents, preface, and acknowledgement, these are not considered. These are considered as common knowledge. So the system should not take into consideration these aspects while generating originality report. So my advice to all the participants, whether you are using Urkun or whether you are using Turnitin or you are using Drillbit, I'll advise that while you are uploading your submission, you should exclude all these. TOC you need not upload, acknowledgement you need not upload, references you need not upload, and bibliography you need not upload. As per, this is something which I don't say, this is as per regulations, as these are things specified in the regulations. It says, regulations say under point 7, similarity checks for exclusion from plagiarism.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I hope this query is clear to all of the participants, because this is very important for all of you to know. And I am happy that Mahiji highlighted this aspect. Acha, another query we have, which platform would you have, would you say more efficient, Turnitin or Urkund? You see, as a library professional, I am not here to promote any particular aspect. We are extending facilities of these three anti-plagiarism software, and we would like our users to use each and every one, all these three, and decide on their own which is the best one. But of course, there are certain features which I personally like grade marking, then English e-rater component of Turnitin, which really helps students. But I have not noticed this kind of feature in Urkund. Manisha Pal says that I think while uploading, I might be getting doubts. So don't worry if you have any problem while uploading, please write to us and we will be more than happy to address your problem. Why is this condition in Turnitin to remove all references, bibliography, footnotes, etc. before submission for plagiarism check? Also, some original words if put in inverted commas does not show as plagiarized. So wherever we need to avoid similarity popping up, should it be put up in inverted commas as a rule? You see, I'm asking you to exclude references in bibliography because the rule says that you should not consider these while you are checking the draft or while you are checking the thesis for originality. That is why we emphasize that you need not add those things while you are uploading your Word file. And I don't understand the other part. Also, some original words if put in inverted commas does not show as plagiarized. So wherever we need to avoid similarity popping up, should we put in inverted commas as a rule? No, there is no rule as such. That if you want to avoid getting caught, you should put inverted commas. No, that because if you try to do that, you may be able to dodge the system, but you cannot, dodge the human mind. You cannot, deceive the teacher. So there is no rule that whatever you want to avoid, you should put in inverted commas. I think if any of my colleagues can throw some more light on it. Okay, so another query is, can the students have Turnitin account of their own so that it is easy for them to check their drafts more efficiently and repeatedly? No, we feel teachers have tremendous importance in education and teaching and learning. So the system doesn't promote direct, students cannot have direct accounts in Turnitin. They need to have accounts through their teachers only. But we often get drafts directly from students and we do check them. But I would advise you, I would suggest you that you should ask your teacher in case you have not got an account created. You must request your supervisor or teacher to create an account for you. And once your account is created, you can check by yourself efficiently and repeatedly, as you have mentioned. Our question for yesterday's presentation: Amtech students use Grammarly? Yes. Praveenji, you can you hear me? Praveenji,
yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Can you throw some light?
Yeah, they can ask for the Grammarly. Amtech students, we will provide them with the Grammarly copy.
So, Shahid Akhtar Khan, in response to your query, yes, you are very much welcome to use Grammarly, and you can get an account created by sending email and that email should have a scanned copy of your valid ID.
Ma'am?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, the query put up by Ruchika and Bhaskar Gupta, actually in this query they are specifying the condition and why is this in turn not only condition able for turn, it is all for three soft. They have these bibliographies conditionable in all three software. It is not only for
Shipraji, there is some problem in your audio. I can't make out, I think.
Applicable for all three software library is using. It is not only for Turnitin.
Yes, yes, this is important. Ruchika and Bhaskar, please note that it's not only in Turnitin that references and bibliography should be removed before uploading, but it is applicable for all three software. And even the regulations specify this doesn't have to do anything specifically with any special software, but even the regulations specify that the similarity checks for plagiarism should exclude all quoted work produced and all references, bibliography, table of contents, preface, and acknowledgements. That's why we emphasize, I underline, we ask students to send their Word files when they send for checking, and those Word files should include their chapters but not bibliography and references. Okay, we have some other questions. Does library have subscription for New York Times, Sydney Morning Herald, Wall Street Journal? Please throw some light on it. Praveenji, will you please come to my rescue and respond to this, whether pressdisplay.com has all these?
Sure, ma'am. At present, we don't have subscription to New York Times, Sydney's Morning Herald, and Wall Street Journal. At this year, current year, we don't have the subscription. And in past also, Sydney Morning and Wall Street was not being subscribed by JNU. Second question is, can we also recommend the library to subscribe some of the other website contents, for example, Forbes, Business Insider, etc.? Yes, surely you can send the recommendation. We will definitely put up in forthcoming library advisory committee whenever it happens, and we can have the subscription if we have the enough of the budgets for forthcoming year. So you can definitely send the recommendation through your Dean or chairperson of the school center, and we will definitely put it up to the authorities for consideration. I hope I have answered your query.
Praveenji, but don't we? But I think we should advise them to check in pressdisplay.com. Maybe Forbes or Business Insider is there.
I don't think so, but yes, definitely they can check with the Press Display also if it is available in that. There is a possibility. I'm not sure about it.
Yes, in case it is not available, then they can send a recommendation.
Yes, definitely.
So we can, madam, we can take one or two more queries.
I request the participants to.
So, madam, again, I just wish to have a small query of mine.
Yes,
so,
yes.
If someone has checked, because JNU Library has 3 anti-plagiarism softwares to offer to the academic community. So, is it in right way if someone can check his draft in all 3 just to make sure that it is absolutely in order of the originality? So please throw some light, because that can be one of the view from the person like me. So a little bit light on that, madam. Thank you.
I think there is no policy as such in place that we should check through all, or whether we should check through Turnitin, because we are getting Urkund through Inflibnet, and we are subscribing to Turnitin, and Turnitin offers some special facilities. Its database coverage is broader than this is what I personally feel than the rest of the two facilities like Urkun and Drillbit. But to say which should be used for, one has to decide. There is no single answer for that no, you should go for this, or you should ensure, because Hindi students who are submitting their thesis in Hindi or Indic languages, other non-English languages, their needs are not taken care of by Urkun or by Turnitin. That's why Drillbit, we thought of, we have started subscribing to Drillbit. But to say, I think it's there is no single solution for that. But I'll say since all these three are offered, especially this, if you have to check your content in English only, then I'll say you make use of both, both the softwares, and then decide which one to use, because I think both of them offer.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Probably we have one or two more queries in our this chat group. So if you can just respond.
Yes, please read them. After we will handle them. Then let Vibhuti start.
Madam, there is a query from Bharadwaj. If you can just respond, please too.
Hello.
Kumud, how can I know what are the different services provided by our JNU library? From when can I know that? Like I did not know about Grammarly and what other services are there. Okay, Kumudji, let me tell you, I will advise you to explore website, explore different tabs in order to find out what are the services available, and keep in touch with the updates which are being posted on the website. And on a very regular basis, we are offering orientation programs in order to facilitate students. So so to answer your query, I'll advise you to explore website, to explore different tabs, to find out what are the services being offered. Second, you must attend all the orientation programs which are being conducted by library on a very regular basis. Then only you will be able to know what are the different services which library offers. Then Ruchika has one more question. Is it possible for students to also have access to self-checking or Turnitin or any other software at JNU library, because otherwise the commercial version is very costly? No, in all these software, you have to get your accounts created with your teachers. But in case you have, we also at times entertain request directly from the students to check their drafts. But that is certainly not a rule. So now we will take questions after the presentations are over, and I request Vibhuti to start with this presentation.
Thank you, madam. Vibhuti sir, please.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry for there is some technical problems in this laptop, so we cannot connect. As quick as possible. Okay. I am just doing the presentation.
There is a problem with your audio.
Audio, there is some problem with audio.
Okay. No.
You have to switch off one speaker.
Hello, is it audible right now?
No, it's not.
I think you switch off the fan, this backside of you, and I request others to not to just speak.
अरे शायद मुझे लग रहा है तुम्हारा वाईफाई कनेक्ट है ना, उसमें नेटवर्क कम है. जो ऑडियो नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे ये लैंड नहीं कनेक्शन हो सकता है लैंड की है ना लैंड का ही है ये लैंड के कम क्यों बार बार नाउ इट इज ऑडिबल हेलो
You are audible now.
okay so just I'm just presenting
But I think there is little bit of echo, no? It echoes.
Yeah, probably there is some electrical equipment that apparatus is on. They should switch it off before they.
कौन सा आवाज है आवाज इको कुछ हो रहा है
ये मेरे एड्रेस से ये वीडियो नहीं आएगा ऑडियो आएगा
हाँ
इसमें ऑडियो है
नहीं ये शेयर नहीं हो रहा है प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर वाला आइकन बंद है ना ये कैसे करना है
I think, madam, in the meantime, we can request Kenny to present before we settle his things.
So maybe sir needs to give this permission because when you click on presentations, it is showing the share button is not functioning here. इधर से कंट्रोल है क्या मुझे लगता है मैडम का जो प्रेजेंटेशन है वो बंद करना पड़ेगा सर
नहीं वो क्या some problem है मैंने तो ऑफ करा हुआ है
लेकिन यहाँ पे शेयर
If you want to come to my room and present from here, you can do it. If you want to come to my room and present from my system, you can come to me.
okay then I am coming
Come to my room.
sorry
हाँ मैंने बंद करा ये देखिए मेरे में तो
just a minute I will go to sir
वो क्लिक करने के बाद ना ऑप्शन नहीं आएगा
ये देखिए ना यहाँ पे करेंगे मैं करूँगी तो फिर ये देखिए ना यहाँ पे करा योर एंटायर स्क्रीन फिर ये आया ना
हाँ ये शेयर ये वो
ये इसको ऐसे ऐसे करेंगे तो आ जाएगा ये देखिए यहाँ पे ये देखिए आ गया ना हाँ बता दीजिए
फैन बंद कर देते हैं
नहीं सर नहीं You are visible. You are visible and audible.
okay now I am audible
Yes, you are audible.
and
Please go ahead.
my presentation is also there
Presentation is not there. Please set it before you speak.
और मैं टेस्टिंग कर लीजिए स्विच ओवर कर सकता हूँ इंटरनेट
Yeah, Patnaik ji, now you can go ahead. Your PPT is up.
okay thank you again I welcome you all to these sessions today I will going to talk about enhancing your reference management work with Endnote both the desktops and online. I will cover a few points here about the EndNotes. Before we will proceed further for the EndNotes tutorials, I would like to share on reference management, how it functions, what are the different tools apart from EndNotes it available, what is important in a paper while you are writing. These are the things I would like to touch upon. Apart from that, I would briefly describe about the EndNotes, its functionality. Now the EndNotes has been release of X9 is released, so you can use of this X9 or X8. You can also we can see also the Endnote Online and how we will cite and refers. So why we do need of reference? As you all know that it is need when we are writing a papers particularly, then we should have to refer other, and whenever we are referring, we should acknowledge them. That is very much essential, so that you can give credit the idea, the work what you have referred. Also, you should allow other to find your original source easily through your paper if you have cited that things within your papers, so that your works be more interactive and more informative and qualitative. To recognize and authentication of your work, it is very much essential that whatever the reference or citations work you have taken from other source, it should be acknowledged properly, or so that it can address the issue of plagiarism as well. So for a paper, apart from the content and context, you need to also, it is very much in essential facet like citation, reference, and bibliography is also very much essential part of it. So text citations is needed when you are quoting some things, when you are doing some works you have taken by paraphrasing or something like that, then you must cite it as a text citations. Also, you can full description of that reference can be listed in the bibliography of your paper. There are a number of near about 30 reference management tools are available today. Some are commercial and some are this open source. I have mentioned in this slide, you have seen that all 30 reference tools are available in market. It is not new actually. This is this reference management tools has been initiated and has been used since 90s onwards. During that period, the classic phase you have seen in this my PPT, that in classic space, some of the reference tools are only used that times. EndNotes is one of them. And this, apart from this, reference manager, Repware, Jotero is also in that time there. But nowadays, a lot of advancement, technological advancement has been happens to this reference management tool to ease out the reference work, so that you can readily work with your papers and you can cite your paper, you can refer your papers with the help of the different reference management tool as you like, any one of them. So today we will talk about the EndNotes here. EndNotes comes in two forms. One is in desktop and one is in online. EndNote is, to brief about this EndNotes, you can know that the EndNotes is a product of Thomson Reuters, which is called Clarivate Analytics nowadays. It is a commercial reference management software. Why I would say commercial? Because the desktop versions of EndNotes you have to purchase if you are going to use. Although they are giving a 30-day trial to use a bit, but after 30 days you have to purchase it. Either institutional based purchase or personal based purchase you have to make. Also, you can. It is said that the desktop one is specifically meant for the social science researchers, because it is focused on the social science researchers in a in the first instance. Although other people like science researchers can also be in use of this EndNote, but it is the reference stylings and citation styling, everything is somehow it is for the social science researcher based academic writing. In fact, you can able to research in a smart way. It helps you tedious works when you are doing formattings, bibliography, finding the full text, everything you can get the help from this EndNote desktop. As you know, you can search thousands of online database directly and use direct export from the research database itself. If you are using a EndNote desktop, then itself in that desktop interface, you can search thousands of online database. If you have your institution have a subscription of Web of Science like products of Thomson Reuters. You can organize also and store your publication, listing out them according to your convenience, and directly import to your EndNote desktop as well. You can also build a bibliography or making a different styles are available. Over 6,000, claiming that it has 6,000 plus styles available, and you can also you can have a features like you can share your research work for the opinions and for the work with your colleague onlinely with the help of EndNote Online. There is a very unique features EndNote savings that is called match functions. These functions can help you, and it is readily available in EndNote Online, which is free, and you can use of it after creating a login ID of yourself for the first time users. Once you log in into this, these match functions can help you to find which journal is best suited for you or best suited for your papers, what you have written. If you have got confused about where to send that paper, it is better do check through match, so that it will give a listings of journals and their impact factors. We can see, I can show you if time will permit, and these functions can help you in that. As I have already told, EndNote offers multiple bibliography. It does means that apart from you import the full text of the if you are using a desktop, but if you are not willing to go for a subscription based things like EndNote desktop you want to use, you can use of EndNote Online, where you can download any numbers of bibliography from the search box of that EndNotes, and you can use of that bibliography by generating the bibliography in different style according to your convenience, like APA, MLA, and you can add the bibliography to your file. EndNote also allow you to annotate PDF. If you are using the EndNote desktop, then you can have a provision of annotating the PDF. Like you can highlight the PDF, you can add some notes to it. You can also have some attachment to it. Such a type of things you can do it. EndNote also quickly find the full text article. If your institution have the subscriptions for all the database what you are searching through EndNote desktop, then full text also easily you can access to. EndNote import reference other reference management tool like Mendeley, Joteros, RepWorks, CiteUlike, all the reference works. If you are working with other reference management tool and wish to export those data into the EndNotes, it is also possible for you. So overall, EndNotes organizing, not only organizing reference, but also it can organize your papers by highlighting, annotating your things, and so that you can more focus on your content while doing your research. Like other reference management tools, EndNote is also having a provisions to sync across the devices like desktops, online, or mobiles. So you can use of EndNotes library. Whenever you are traveling, also you are having an iPad, then you can go and you can use of it. You can use the online EndNote as well. This is a brief about the EndNote desktop, which is just for your convenience. I am just giving a brief description of the EndNote site, how it works. It is just like other reference management tools. It is a screen of, it is providing a library to you. Once you download the EndNote desktop within your desktop or laptop, then it creates a library for you. And within that library, you can able to search the references as well as full text of your work, and you can attach those informations to your library, upload into your library from your computer offline way, or you can directly through online database search as well. So it is very easier to handle. You can do many number of tasks like editing of the bibliography details. If you have find that some error may happens in that bibliography while importing that documents, you can edit later on also. It is a facility of different tasks, like you can group also. Like I want a papers which I have collected several papers, and I want these papers should be a group, because if I will place in a group, then it will easier for me that how I can access those informations directly from the group, not going the whole details paper what I have downloaded. If you have thousands number of papers and if you are making a group, then it is easier than which groups you can. Like here in this picture, you can see there is different groups they make, like beds, avian intelligence, so that the avian base or bird base, parrot base articles is there, then it can group into that and place into that folder, so that when you are looking for the parrot base any articles, then simply go to the parrot groups and click on that, so that you can access those informations or those articles through this parrot group. So it is very handy way of application. So you should use of it by have a try with the trial versions. But when you install this software, few things you have to remember before installing. EndNote libraries are made up of two parts. One is .enl file and another is the .data folders. Once you install, these two parts must be kept together. If you are putting it in separate place, then it may not work for you. So you should keep in mind, EndNote libraries should be kept on your computer hard drive only, not in network drives or any pen drives. You cannot use for this software to use. Storing and editing library on network drives can lead to corruption and performance issue. If you are putting a pen drive based EndNote X8 or EndNote X9, might be you have faced problem of performance issue as well as data corruption issue maybe happens to you. So it is better to install in your hard drive only, like C drive, D drive or E drive. EndNote libraries should never be stored in a cloud sync folder such as Dropbox, OneDrive box, or as I have already been told you. Uninstall your previous version of EndNote before installing new version. Suppose you are using an EndNote X8 right now, and you are now seeing that EndNote X9 is coming. So if you want to switch over this EndNote X9, then you have to uninstall the X8 first, and thereafter you can install the X9. It will not make any problems about your data within the X8, because the data folders, as I have told, is already been stored in a place of your hard drive only. So data will be remain there, so you can able to install the X9 as well. Now we will see how EndNote desktop can organize and setting of your library. First of all, you have to search the data and put inside the library. As I have already been told you, it can have a provision of grouping of your intelligence-based grouping into your systems of EndNote library, so that it can help you. Like, for example, I am making, as the picture shown here, I have made 3 groups. One is cognition, intelligence, and sonar, and I make some details, articles, and we place on that particular group. But later on, if I am not interested to go and drag and drop to that group, and I can manage it by intelligent way, the EndNote Excel should do for me, then it is possible. Okay, that I can show you. There is a at the end I will show you how intelligently these functions happens to you. So it is once you download and identify and making a group, it's automatically identify the papers keywords and automatically update the informations within that particular group based folder. Suppose there is a Corabit cognition based articles you have find, and once you check on it, automatically redirect to the Corabit cognitions folder if you have allotted that groups to automatically sync to that group. It can also identify the various panels available to us. As you can see in my slide, there is a red marks. When you start any work with the Mendeley library, first you have to search. So there is a search box in the middle panels. So you can do the search box, and multiple line of search box, like multiple parameters can be used while you are searching, so that specific results can be retrieved for you. It can help, like when we are doing some search box in library portals, library discovery tool, we are very often use parameters like and or not. So you can use of such booleans operators, so that refining of your results can be happen. So EndNote desktop can readily give you those type of functionality, so that authentic results can be retrieved for you through EndNote desktop. Already I have told you how to add the group and set up folders within your file and references. You can, though it is a Thomson Reuters product, so it has already been integrated with Web of Science database and Pubmed database. So by default, these two databases can be you can access directly. Apart from that, if you are having some institutional subscriptions like EBSCO, other subscriptions, so you can authenticate those informations through your institution's IP, and so that you can avail those resources within the EndNote desktop as well. Once you import the PDF full text, then you can able to work with that PDF document also. So now let us see how PDF highlight PDF annotations works will be doing through EndNote desktops. First of all, you can there is an option in the left panels, found PDF. So you can see the here the found PDF, and once you see the found PDF, you click over this, so all PDF document will be visible to you. So once you visible to that PDF account, then you just click on the double click on that particular files, then it will ready for you to edit or handlings of annotating the documents. Next part is the citations, how you can use of citations plugins in your Word or Office. Usually when you are using EndNote desktop, it will help you to install the plugins into your Word where you are working with your papers. So you need not worry to open always going to the EndNote desktop. You directly extract the informations of EndNote desktop library from your own papers, while you can work simultaneously with your work along with the EndNote desktop. EndNote desktop should only open to you. Once you open the Word and you work with that, and if you want to cite your things within the paper, then there is an option called go to EndNotes option in your Word once you have installed like this, and you can search within that EndNote desktop and add different articles whatever available in your EndNote desktop, and add the citation and reference informations with easily. Now EndNotes can be compatible with Microsoft Word, Apache OpenOffice, and Apple Page. But apart from this, other word processing programs is there, it may not work. So you should keep in mind that word processors like Microsoft Word, Apache, OpenOffice, and Apple Page are being used if you are going to use the EndNote X8 or X9. How you can insert your citation? It is very simple process. As I have told, you can go to the EndNotes Word, and there are when you click on the EndNote words, it automatically provide you a search box where you can able to import or able to add some text citation to it, and you can also copy and paste like features also you can manage through EndNote Word. Here, good thing about EndNote citations, which is lacking in other softwares, is editing of citations. You can do editing according to your way of citation style. Sometimes, like for example, if you are using a style of APA and your APA style having a text citation like having a year and the author's surname, just like that. But when you are where you are sending your paper, they are saying that no, you should mention the page number within this. Okay, and it should be it need to be added. Then you can edit according to and you can customize. You can also merge number of citation within this. You can also edit other way, like only surname I want to showcase, not the author. Only page number I can showcase with surname. Such type of editing is possible. That is user compatible based, customizable based editing facility is available within the EndNotes. That is lacking in other somehow in other reference management softwares. You can also the EndNote X8 also help you to collaborate with your research, because though this desktop as well as online can also work in online way, so you can able to share your works with your peers, and you can have other works and combined works, you can make it possible. User received unlimited storage online for syncing and sharing of your data. Once you have subscription to EndNote X8, then you have provision of unlimited storage data. There is no storage limitation within this. So you can use any number of articles, and you can share and sync into the EndNote desktop. All X8 users get access once they have up to date with X8 and activate the desktop. There is a link called EndNote library sharing, so you can click on that and you can share your works. As I have already been told you, EndNote can also be synced to across the devices. You can work in your computer and you want to work with your iPad, then you can sync into the iPad or the online, you can make it. Here I am giving a little for your understanding what I have already been told you. For your understanding, I am just playing a video for 5 to 10 minutes so that you have some understandings about this EndNote X8 desktops. Just a minute. This is the EndNote exit. So try to listen. Is it audible, right?
Create an Endnote library by selecting New from the file. Endnote will name the file My Endnote Library. Do not save it in any cloud syncing folders, such as those for Dropbox or OneDrive. Syncing folders such as these will corrupt the Endnote
Volume
library.
is very low, Vibhuti.
Also, do not save
Is it not audible?
It's not audible clearly. The volume is
One moment, I
very
will just switch off the fan.
For the remainder of this lesson, I will use the sample library that is included with the program. It can be found in the Public Documents Endnote Examples folder. The library shows 3 main panels. These panels can be controlled using the Layout button in the bottom right corner of the screen, and panels can be resized. The Reference panel, shown here on the right, will show details about highlighted references and their attached PDFs. The references will show in a list in the center. Groups such as the All References and Unfiled groups shown here, and groups you create for yourself, show on the left side of the screen. Above the panels is a toolbar with shortcut buttons for popular commands. Above the Groups panel, there are 3 mode buttons which control how online search works. The first button is Local Library Mode. It shows the references and groups in my library. The second button is Online Search Mode. It shows a preview window where I can search online and examine the retrieved references. In the Groups panel, I see a list of default favorite online searches. To search databases not listed among my favorites, I click More underneath the list of favorites.
Vibhuti ji, can you please share the YouTube screen?
Search files on my computer.
Pardon?
Can you please share the YouTube screen?
Downloaded from
one.
added by
Hello?
performing
There are requests from the participants to share the screen too.
databases showing library
Is it not visible?
information providers.
No, it's not visible. YouTube screen is not visible. It's only audible.
They require a
Okay, after a while, I'm just stop it. Okay, and I will give the link to all so that they can see accordingly. 5 minutes, I am just playing to understand. I would like to share again.
database to be searched will be highlighted.
Sir, you can share via Chrome tab. Then audio and video.
Search term must be located from the list of fields. Then enter my first search term in the first line. If I have more than one search term, I can choose how these terms will be linked together from the drop-down
While
list
sharing, you
available.
can share via Chrome tab, then the video will be there.
Not
Audio.
always is the search top to bottom. So if I will be mixing connectors in the search, I will obtain my best results by following this order for connecting search terms. Use the OR connector first to broaden the search. Use the AND connector next to narrow the search. Use the NOT connector last to exclude items from the results. There may be exceptions to this rule, but in most cases, this strategy will return the best results. I click the search button to perform the search. Endnote will report the number of references found. I click
Sir, please unmute yourself. Sir, it's muted. Praveen, sir?
Last to exclude items from the results. There may be exceptions to this rule, but in most cases, this strategy will return the best results. I click the search button to perform the search. Endnote will report the number of references found. I click the OK button to import the found references into my preview library. The online references in Pubmed groups now show the references that were imported from Pubmed. These references are only in the preview library. To add them to my permanent library, I highlight or select all the references I want to copy to my permanent library. Then I click the Copy to Local Library button. After copying my references, I click the Local Library Mode button. A copied references group is now displayed in my library. This is a temporary group showing all the references copied from my online search. The next time I copy references from online search, this group will be overwritten. So I want to start organizing my references now while they are easy to see. In my online search, I excluded references with the phrase sushi domain, but I will be importing some with the phrase later. I would like to set up groups and a group set for my sushi project that will organize references with the phrase apart from references about sushi the food. First, I will create a group set for the project. Group sets are used to organize groups and can be dragged up or down the screen, allowing me to keep my current projects on top. I select Create Group Set from the Groups menu. Type in the name of my group set and press the Enter key. Now I would like to add a custom group under my sushi group set to hold every reference I add to my project. To create a custom group, I select Create Group from the Groups menu. Type in the name of the new group and press the Enter key. I select the references I want to add to the custom group, then click and drag them to the group. Smart groups are based on a search strategy and will automatically update, so I won't have to drag the references to a smart group. I select Create Smart Group from the Groups menu and type in the name of the new smart group. I build my search strategy for the smart group, then click the Create button to create the smart group. All the references with the term sushi domain will be shown in my new smart group. The smart group will automatically update because it is based on a search. I can also create a group that will show me which references are in my sushi in general group, but not in my sushi domains smart group. This time I select Create From Groups from the Groups menu. I name the group. I select Sushi in General as my first group. Then I select Not from the drop-down list of connectors and pick Sushi Domains as my second group. I click the Create button to create the group. As I add references to my Sushi in General group, my Not Sushi Domains group will be automatically updated. When importing references from a website using my browser, both the database I am importing from and the browser will affect the process. For examples, I will import a set of references from the Web of Science core collection using Google Chrome and a set of references from Pubmed using Firefox. I perform my search in the Web of Science. I can mark the records I want to export or mark no records to select a range of records later. I select Save to Endnote Desktop from the drop-down list. I fill in the range of records I want to import, up to a maximum of 500 records. I select Full Record from the Record Contents drop-down list to import author addresses and keywords as well as bibliographic data. Note that this option may not be available if you are not searching the Web of Science core collection. Then I click the Send button. The first time I export from Chrome, I click the small arrow on the button that appears in the bottom left corner. Then select Open. I select More Apps. This screen may be different in different versions of Windows. I select the Endnote program, then click the OK button. The references are imported into my library and are shown in the Imported References temporary group. Notice that some of the new references are already shown in the Sushi Domains group. When I select and drag the imported references to the Sushi in General group, the Not Sushi Domains group also updates. At Pubmed, I perform my search, this time in Firefox. I could then mark the references I want, or not mark any. I click the OK button. I click the OK button. The references are automatically imported into the Imported References group, and the Sushi Domains group is automatically updated. When I select the imported references and drag them to the Sushi in General group, the Not Sushi Domains group is also automatically updated. If it identifies a match, it will attach the PDF to the existing record instead of creating a new record. I click the Import button. Endnote searches the first 2 pages of the text and the metadata for a DOI, a Digital Object Identifier. If it finds one, it sends that DOI to Pubmed and Crossref. These databases look up the data, send the data back to Endnote. Endnote imports the data, then attaches the PDF. Note that not all PDFs will be importable. The best results will be from publisher-created PDFs. Older PDFs without DOIs and scanned PDFs will not be importable. Once again, and then find full text again, or click the Find Full Text button. Under the Find Full Text group set at the bottom of the Groups panel, Endnote displays the status of its search. When it finishes, there may be up to 3 groups of results. 1. References that Endnote found and was able to download a PDF for. 2. References that Endnote was unable to download a PDF for, but found a link that appears to be for a PDF and downloaded that link into the URL field. And 3. References that Endnote was unable to find anything for. To read or annotate a PDF in Endnote, click the Open PDF button to open the PDF in a larger window. I have annotation tools such as a highlighter and sticky notes to mark up my PDF. When I am finished working with the PDF, the Open PDF button has now become a Close PDF button to let me close the PDF and save my changes. You can customize PDF handling and find full text settings in the Endnote preferences. Let me now switch to the Preview tab to show how my references will be formatted in the bibliography. I have selected the APA style in Endnote. References formatted according to that style should show the full journal name, but I see that some of my previews show abbreviations while others show the full name. I want Endnote to format them consistently with the full journal name. Endnote can do this if I set up a journal's term list, which acts as a lookup list for the different versions of the journal name. I start by selecting Open Term Lists from the Tools menu, then Journals Term List. This list has been built from the records I've imported to my library and has many names in the wrong column. Which column a name is in will depend on the database the original record was imported from. I must first clean out this list by selecting all the items in the list and clicking Delete Term. This will not change any of the records in my library. Then I go to the Lists tab and select Import List. In the Endnote Terms List folder, I find a set of the lists included with Endnote, and I import the list that best matches my area of study by selecting it and clicking the Open button. Endnote reports how many journals were imported, and I click the OK button. When I return to the Terms tab, I now see thousands of journals with the full names and abbreviations in the correct columns. I click the Close button to close the term list. Now when I examine the preview window with the APA style selected, I see that all my journal names are showing the full name. This is how they will appear in my bibliography. I'm now ready to start working with my references in Microsoft Word. I can search my EndNote library from within Word using the Insert Citation button. I place my cursor where I want to add a citation and click in the top part of the Insert Citation button. In the window displayed, I enter a word or set of words that are anywhere in the record I want to locate. For this example, I will search for all records containing the words tool and use. I enter the search terms, then click the Find button or press the Enter key. EndNote searches all open libraries and brings up a list of records that contain the search terms. A library must be open in EndNote for EndNote to search it from Word. At the bottom right of the window, I see the number of records found. When I select a reference in the list, I see the details of that reference in the lower part of the window. To insert a reference in the paper, I select a reference or references and click on the small arrow on the Insert button to see options for formatting citations. I select my preferred option from the drop-down list. The references are inserted in my paper and the citation and bibliography are instantly formatted. Another way to add references to my paper is to select them in the EndNote library, then insert them in my Word document using a combination of the Go to EndNote command and the Insert Citation command. I place my cursor where I want to insert the citation, then click the Go to EndNote button. This command takes me to the EndNote program and displays the active library. I select a reference or set of references to insert. With the reference selected, I click the Insert Citation button on the EndNote toolbar. I am returned to Word and the references are inserted at the cursor location. Let me repeat that. I place the cursor where I want the new reference. I go to EndNote, select my reference, then click the Insert Citation button. Once again, the bibliography and citation are instantly formatted. I open the Configure Bibliography command by selecting the small arrow at the bottom right of the bibliography group. The first tab, Format Bibliography, allows me to select the bibliographic style to be used in my document from a drop-down list. This favorites list contains the styles I have used before, along with several of the most popular bibliographic styles. If I want to add a new style to the list, I select the Browse button to bring up a list of the styles installed on my computer. I select the style I want to use from the list. For this document, APA. Click OK to close the window. I can set citations in the document to be hyperlinked to the matching references in the bibliography. I can also set if the hyperlinks will be underlined in a blue font. The APA style also requires double spacing for my bibliography, and I would like to add a title above the bibliography. The Layout tab will allow me to change these options. On the Layout tab, I can select the font and font size that will be used for my entire bibliography. I can add a title, such as reference list. If I want to format that title differently from the rest of my bibliography, selecting the title's text, then clicking the Text Format button will let me change the font for just the title. Click OK to close the window. If I were using a numbered style, the Start with Bibliography Number option would let me start that bibliography with any number I wanted. This option does not apply to footnotes. Word controls the numbering of footnotes. To add citations to footnotes, first insert the footnote using Word, then insert the EndNote citation into the footnote. First line indent will change the indentation of the first line of each reference. Whether or not there is a hanging indent is set in the style, but in this window I can change how wide that hanging indent will be. The line spacing option applies to all the text in the bibliography, and here I will change it to double to match the APA requirements. The space after option allows me to add extra lines after each reference. These would be in addition to the spacing set using the line spacing option. When all options are set, I click the OK button to apply the changes. Formatted citations contain hidden field codes, indicated here by the gray shading. And if I try to delete text from a formatted citation or type directly into it, those changes will disappear the next time the bibliography updates. The correct way to edit citations is to use the Edit and Manage Citations command. For the citations in my paper, I will make the following changes. For one, I will omit the author's name because it has been used in the preceding sentence and add page numbers. For the group citation, I will remove the citation from the group. I begin by clicking the Edit and Manage Citations button. I select a citation from the list in the upper part of the window. In the lower part of the window, the Reference tab will show the details for that EndNote record, so I can be sure I am working with the correct reference. The Edit Citation tab will let me edit the citation. To remove an author's name from a citation, I select the citation from the list, then select Exclude Author from this drop-down list. In the Pages field, I'll add the page number for this citation. Note that the Pages field is not used in all styles and may not work for some styles I use, but the prefix and suffix fields will always work. In the suffix field, I'll add comma table 2, just as an example of how the field works. With the prefix and suffix fields, I must include any additional spacing or punctuation marks. This edit is citation specific. If I cite the same reference later on in the document, EndNote will show the default information for that citation with none of the customization shown here. For the grouped citation, I want to remove the reference by Von Baer. I select the reference to be removed and choose Remove Citation from the drop-down list at the right. When finished, I click the OK button to display the changes. In my first example, you no longer see the author's name in the citation, and now you see a page number and a suffix. The former grouped citation no longer shows the Von Baer reference. Before I started using EndNote on the desktop, I had created an Endnote Online account through the Web of Science and
मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन कैसे दिखाऊं? PPT.
So as you have seen through this tutorial video, am I audible?
You are very much audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. As you have seen this, I have given whatever I have talked about EndNote desktop, that I want to showcase you a little bit so that you can briefly knowing the how actually citations, text citations specifically work in EndNote X8 desktop. So that as you have rightly marked there, that text citations in a particular line also you may change or edit or customizable. Usually all other reference management software, if you are making changes to one text citation, then other also automatically being changed. But here you can manage your customizations according to your way. Like in one text citation you are using a page number, in one text citation you are using the reference should be, author's name should be excluded. Like that you can manage in this EndNote desktop. So a lot of features are there, and there so many other video tutorials are also available in EndNote sites. If you will open the EndNote, then there is lot of video tutorials about the desktop versions are available. Accordingly, you can find and you can learn also. Once you can, if you are using going to because where I saw because this tutorial, because it is not possible for me right now to download the desktop one and rightly say the same things to you. So in a quick moment, I just want to brief you about this by showing this tutorial only. Okay, so next part is Endnote Online. Endnote Online also the same, almost same functionalities having Endnote Online, and it is good thing about the Endnote Online is it is totally free. Once you have to create a login ID and password, you can use of this Endnote Online. Although desktop is subscription based, but Endnote Online is free based. So once you have a account, then you can able to use it, so that you can use, you can find the data, you can store the references, you can create your references list and bibliography readily available, and you can also share your work. As I already been told you that Endnote having a very good features like you can download any number of references and keep inside your Endnote Online. Online database, Endnote Online database is saying that reference storage is maximum 50,000 documents, and attachment storage is 2 GB. If you are using Endnote Online only, then you can use of storage capacity of 2 GB data of references you can put inside your online library of Endnote. You can also access near about 1800 plus databases freely, and journal system formatting bibliography near about 3300 plus. These are the the journal system bibliography is 21, and online database access is 5 here. And if you are having a subscription of Web of Science, then it is going to be 1800 database, and journal style format is 3300 plus. So you should think about it that whether you are going to subscribe, your institution going to subscribe. If you are having a subscription, then you are getting better in case of you are using the Endnote Online. Then the other features like match function, as I have already been told you, the match function is the unique features of Endnote Online, which can provide you to see which journals you are going to, if you have a paper and which journal you want to produce that paper, and so some guidance it will help you. And so here in which way this match function will work, you have to place the title of your papers, then abstract of your papers, and thereafter you can search for particular journals in the basically it is integrated, as I have already been told you, that it is integrated with Web of Science databases. So within that databases, whatever the journals are available, then within that journals which is best match will happens to according to your title and abstract, it will come to you, and it will also showcase you to for your so for that you can choose which journals is best suit for you, which journal is going to publish, which is having a time period of 6 months or 8 months. So you can search particular inside that journal and you can make it. I will show you online as well. Sorry, actually there is a time limitation because we are also started very late today. But as I have already been told, just I am finishing right now. So it is not possible for me to showcase online way. But this slide can tell you the whole things. You just simply see here after searching your title and authors, there is this type of listing will come for you, which having all the information of the particular journal, like impact factors, what is the process of manuscript submission process of that particular journal, whether it is open access or not. All this information you can avail. So in this way you can search these things. This is all about Endnote desktop and online. Thank you for listening me, and if you have any value addition suggestions to us, then please in the chat box you can make it. Thank Thank you. Thank you, sir. I have completed.
Thank you, Dr. Vibhuti.
And you can, if you are willing to do EndNote, to explore the EndNote desktop, there is 30-day free trial. So it is best way to explore EndNote by using this 30-day free trial. Okay.
And one request, Dr. Vibhuti, there is a demand to share the video link. So please share right now in the
Chat box. Okay.
Yeah, chat box.
Yes.
So that the audience can get benefit of this.
Okay,
and
sir.
I will request the participant to please raise their queries, if any, to the speaker.
I have a query.
Yes.
You have mentioned about .enl and .data files, right?
Yes.
And these two files will be downloaded or installed while installing the this EndNote,
Yes.
right? So it's and the trial is also for 30 days. So
Okay.
I just would like to inquire whether these files, because as soon as the trial is over, whether these files, these two downloaded, these two folders will exist, or these two folders will also disappear, because no.
Yes.
These
You are rightly asking the things is that whether if I have completed my free trial, whether this all these works I have done in EndNote is going to vanish or just like that. So it is not like that. It is remain in your hard drives as I have located the file folder name. So if you are going, if you are putting the old document into Mendeley or some Jotera or something like that later on, the XML file, then it will automatically exported to that database and you can use of it.
So this all I can do before the trial gets over? It's over, I can do it.
No, after trial you cannot operate as well. Okay, after trial it will not going to open for you. So
Yes.
before trial you can do that if you are not interested to go about the subscription.
Okay, thank you.
And here I am sharing the link here through the chat box. So if someone is in need of it, then you can. Whether you received that in the chat box?
Yes, sir. We have
Yes,
received
yes,
it.
that is there.
Okay.
I have a layman kind of query. Not aware to this EndNote software. What we
Yeah,
used to
that's why I told you. That's why I told you that better you should have a trial. Okay,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. So you have a trial. If you find some problem as well, then we are here also to help you out. And you can message me through my mail ID. Also, I'm just sharing.
So just before going into the depth, I want
Yes.
to get remove my layman kind of confusion. What we used to understand by EndNote is to just put the footnotes or endnotes in the page, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
we got the meaning like that only so far before your presentation. But what I am sensing right now is that it is really a bigger thing and helping to write so many research papers and helping more and more in addition to that. So is it so?
Yes. Basically, it is designed for social science researcher only.
Okay, good.
So
So,
that they can, because they are very often find trouble in text citations, making footnote. Their paper having such type of writings. The way of writings of social science researcher are having like that. So they are willing to make text citation in different format in a particular paper itself, not the similar text citation. Sometimes they need page number, sometimes they won't need page number, sometimes they won't need author. So these are the things they keep in mind in EndNote.
Thank you, sir. So what benefit we as teachers of JNU can have of this?
It is different because see, EndNote subscription is the desktop one is individual subscription is also available, as well as institutional subscription is also available. And
So
depends
can we-
on, because some of the students, I know in visually impaired students, some of the students are using EndNote since a long day. Some of the department of CSLG or something like that, 2-3 social science department also, they are combinedly 8 membership like that, they are purchasing and using it. Okay, because it is a one-time purchase. It is not
So
like
we as individual teacher have to write you to have this benefit.
no, not like that, because we are not going to purchase for the individual subscription. You have
Doesn't our library have subscription for this? Our library, central library.
subscription. Web Science is having a subscription of Web Science we have. So Endnote Online rightly you can use. Okay, there is no issue with that. But Endnote Desktop you can have to purchase it. It is cost around. I don't have a recent idea about much cost. Maybe less than 10,000. I think 8,000 or something like that.
So that is a lot. So I would request the library should provide us.
Library individually is not able to buy. Institution subscription we can explore. If you do request, then we can write to our librarian man. Then we can explore later on.
Thank you.
Okay.
मेरा presentation out हो गया ना?
Any more questions from anyone? So before we go to the next presentation. So I will request the next speaker, Madam Kenny. Please present your hello. Is Kenny Madam is there? So in the meantime, because this presenter is taking some time to actually there is some problem in PC. So if we can have any more queries for the relating to any of the projects till now, so that can be worth discussing if anyone has some. Madam Library, are you there, madam?
Hello.
Yes, madam. So I was requesting that if we can just take if the audience has some queries before this next speaker.
Yes, please. Any query or observation?
Yeah, observation regarding any part of our deliberations till now. I think, madam, if we can update the audience to have this next webinar or this orientation in the near future, so that the more and more people can get updated here about the programs organized by the library, if possible.
Sir, I have a suggestion here.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Hello. Yeah, Gopal here. Like in the first day, Papaya ma'am also suggested. This is really a wonderful kind of work. I have gone through these 3 days in the 3 morning sessions, and it is really very much required by the faculty members. And I had an impression, and we just keep going to library and asking books. That's what the utilization or utilizing of the library staff we do. But what is the knowledge hidden in the library staff members as per their competence seldomly teachers are able to get that. So my suggestion is that before conducting such seminars and organizations, a wide range publicity through the registrar or other authorities should be done through social media, so that people, uh, all the faculties are supposed to attend such kind of webinars. Very few of them are here. Problem is that they are not coming, but the problem is that they have been informed, not been informed properly. थोड़ी सूचना ठीक से उनके पास पहुंचे ना, और आजकल तो ऑनलाइन है, we don't have to come physically, so it is very easy to be online. So it should be disseminated pretty in advance, the information, so that more and more can come, and library can repeat the events. The same events can be repeated, because just 37, 45 or 50 participants are there. So it's no harm to repeat it again. So keep conducting again and again. And this is really useful. We really need to know this. Even this EndNote today, 3 plagiarism softwares we've been come across. We were only aware with the Turnit, but Urkund and this one non-English wala drill bit. This was really wonderful. So I'm very thankful for conducting this. But only the thing is this: if all the faculties and research students, the officially registered staff of JNU is included, that would be very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You are absolutely right. So I will request Lavan Madam to just observe these points raised by Professor.
Thank you, Gopalji. Your points are well taken. We will keep these things in mind. And let me tell you, library is conducting such programs on a very regular basis. Okay, as you said, maybe the communication did not reach them, and such events should be widely disseminated before they are organized. So we will take care of this thing. Thank you. Thank you very much for your feedback.
Penny Madam, you are audible. Please start.
See my screen now. Hello. So can you see my screen now? Hello?
No,
Not yet,
your
ma'am.
screen is not showing.
Not yet. I think put your camera on. That is also not there. Your audio is available to us.
Camera not required, sir. Only screen is required.
Yes, sir. You are very right, sir. But I think they are not able to do the minimum required things.
Yes.
Ask her to present now.
So can you see my screen now?
No, madam. No, madam. Are you on mobile or laptop?
On my laptop.
Yeah, please press the present now button on the right.
How it is already present.
And now, then the top entire screen, click that. Video is on, but project screen is not there. Present now.
On the right corner, below right corner, there is a option 3 dot, and beside that there is a option present now. When you will click on the screen, there will be option 3 dot and then present now and then turn on caption. So you have to click on present now. Yes.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, it's visible now. But kindly change the layout and do it as a
Slideshow. Press F5, madam. It will be automatically done as slideshow.
Just a second. Just a second.
Right.
Please wait for a few seconds, please. Yes. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible and it's quite good.
Please go ahead. Yeah, it has gone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be presenting on this Mendeley software, which is managing research through Mendeley, and it is a free software. Just a second, it's getting hang in between. It is. This is.
Kenny, madam, please go ahead. Your screen is visible and you are audible.
Oh, अच्छा अच्छा. हाँ ठीक है हाँ.
Hello. Hello. Sir, am I audible now? I can't hear anything. मैं तो आवाज कुछ नहीं आ रहा. The thing is, I can't hear. I can't hear.
माइक में
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Ma'am,
madam.
you are audible.
Audible, audible.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How much? Hello, Rauji. Rauji, can you hear me?
Madam, I am hearing you.
Rauji, since there is some problem, we will. I apologize to all the participants. We will again host such program in which this Mendeley will be taken up. So I request you, Rauji, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Kaini madam is coming to the Mahesh sir room, so just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, ma'am. If it is possible, then we can continue it.
We are running. It's 1 o'clock now.
So can I say the vote of thanks now?
Yes, we will do it again. You start, huh?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So good afternoon to all. On behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Central Library, JNU, I extend my sincere thanks to the competent authorities, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir, Minister Dr. Pramod Kumar sir, Director and Chairperson of Library Advisory Committee, Professor Chintamani Mahapatra sir, for granting the permission for conducting this e-workshop. We are thankful to the librarian madam, Dr. Manorama Tripathi, and the coordinator, Dr. Mahesh Chan sir, for framing and conceptualizing the content of this workshop. We are also grateful to the speakers of today, Dr. Manorama Tripathi madam, librarian JNU, Dr. Vibhuti Bhushan Patnaik, and Dr. L. Kaini is unable to present now, that we can showcase this presentation in the next session. On the topics of Urkund and anti-plagiarism software and Endnote and Mendeley reference management software. We would like to extend gratitude to the speakers on first and second day, Dr. Manorama Tripathi madam, Dr. Shivakanojia madam, Dr. Mahesh Chan sir, Dr. Praveen Babbar sir, and Dr. Shipravasti madam for delivering their lectures on various topics. We are also thankful to the staff of automation section, Mr. Sushant Kumar Panigrahi and Mr. Sanjeev Kaswan and their team for resolving the technical issues from time to time to help for smooth functioning of this workshop. Last but not least, we are grateful to office attendants, library attendants, and semi-professionals and professional assistants and assistant librarians of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Central Library for their support and help from time to time on behind the scenes for smooth functioning of the library services and support for this e-workshop. Finally, we are thankful to the participants for patient listening and devoting time to attend this workshop through online. Once again, I express my thankfulness to the librarian, Dr. Manorama Tripathi madam, and the coordinator, Dr. Mahesh Chan sir, for giving me the opportunity to present vote of thanks on behalf of the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Central Library and participant of the workshop. Thanking you, and over to the coordinator, Dr. Mahesh sir. Mahesh sir? Hello?
Yes, Rao sir.
Thank you sir, thank you very much. So, if possible, just kindly madam ka break लीजिए sir.
No. After vote of thanks, we have to close for the day and
sir.
this session. I will request Madam Librarian to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone, and I'm sorry for the for the glitches, and we could not hold the session on Monday, but we are doing it on a regular basis, and we will organize it shortly. So don't worry on that account. Once again, I thank you all of you for participating in the 3-day workshop, and best wishes to all of us. And now we will log out.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.